0% financing for 18 months. Call today and save.
Good morning, America. Deadly crash. A Navy fighter jet goes down off the coast of Florida, killing both crew members on board. The investigation right now.
The Trump administration blasting Russia over that assassination attempt on a former spy. Ambassador Nikki Haley warning if we don't act now, chemical weapons could be used in New York.
Stormy Daniels versus the president. A new report connects Trump to the adult film star. Who is the new Trump Organization lawyer involved?
New trouble for United Airlines. This dog mistakenly put on a 12-hour flight to Japan.
I instantly burst into tears. I was like, this is not my dog.
A day after that tragic incident with the dog in the overhead bin. A criminal investigation now underway.
Are you ready for it?
And let the March Madness begin. The big dance just hours away, some already facing heartbreak, and others celebrating this incredible history-making win. The coach saying this month is for miracles.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Michael is all smiles this morning. Texas Southern.
Yes, this month is for miracles, George. We need a miracle. We have Xavier, our first time in the tournament. It's our first win yesterday to make it into the tournament. So Texas Southern University represent us well. I'm so proud of you. Look at that. Look at the slam dunk.
We are celebrating this morning.
I hate to be able to dunk like that.
Is that right?
TJ is going to come in and talk about it. TJ will be here to talk about March Madness. We have a lot of news to get to as well, and we're going to begin with that military plane crash overnight. A Navy fighter jet down off the coast of the Florida Keys. Our Chief Global Affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, has the details. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. The fighter jet was so close to landing, but turned deadly in those final moments.
The search and rescue operation began within minutes of the crash.
Somebody said it blew up in the air.
Helicopters hovering overhead. You can see the landing gear of the capsized F-18 Hornet in the shallow waters near the runway as rescuers search nearby for the two naval aviators.
Pretty scary situation.
The crash happened during the jet's final approach, 1 mile from the Naval Air Station in Key West. The two aviators ejecting from the aircraft as it went down. One witness writing on social media that she saw the jet roll and explode before going down.
If the airplane happened to be upside down at the time they left the cockpit, there might not have been enough room for the parachutes to open.
The aviators were found just a mile from the aircraft in the water. Both were declared dead after arriving at a Florida hospital. President Trump responding to the tragedy overnight, tweeting, "Please join me with your thoughts and prayers for both aviators, their families, and our incredible U.S. Navy." And this morning, the investigation is underway as officials piece together what went wrong.
Those witnesses who saw an explosion may have just seen the ejection seats launching. Those seats have saved so many lives. But if that jet was rolling or upside down, the angle for the ejection launch may have led to the deaths. All that still to be determined. George?
We are thinking of their families this morning. Okay, Martha, thanks very much.
Yeah, we certainly are. Okay, tensions this morning are escalating with Russia over the poisoning of a former Russian spy and his daughter in the UK. The White House now issuing its strongest words yet, saying Russia is responsible for what it is calling the reckless attack with a nerve agent. Our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, has the latest. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Cecilia. And this morning, the Kremlin is telling us Vladimir Putin himself will decide soon how to retaliate after the UK's tough response in holding Russia responsible for that chemical weapons attack. And while President Trump himself has not personally condemned Russia, he said he wanted to see the facts and see if he agrees with the facts. Members of his administration are pulling no punches. While former Russian spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter cling to life in a British hospital after that attack with that powerful chemical weapon, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, demanded that Russia come clean for what she called an atrocious crime.
The United States believes that Russia is responsible for the attack on two people in the United Kingdom using a military-grade nerve agent.
British Prime Minister Theresa May has expelled more than 20 Russian diplomats, the largest expulsion since the Cold War, and cut off all high-level contacts between the two countries.
We will not tolerate the threat to life of British people and others on British soil from the Russian government.
But Ambassador Haley took it even further, saying the threat needs to be contained.
If we don't take immediate concrete measures to address this now. Salisbury will not be the last place we see chemical weapons used. They could be used here in New York.
The White House now standing with Britain, saying in a statement, this fits into a pattern of behavior in which Russia undermines the sovereignty and security of countries worldwide. Well, that statement was certainly welcomed here, but Cecilia, make no mistake, this is a crisis for people here in Britain, the U.S.'s closest ally. And in a crisis, they look to the President of the United States. Right now, they are looking to President Trump to speak out for America. Cecilia?
Okay, Terry, thank you. And as Terry said, the president still has not directly condemned Russia himself on this. So far, that condemnation is coming from aides.
Yeah, he'll be before cameras today. We'll see what happens there. We're going to move on now to those new documents that connect adult film star Stormy Daniels to the Trump Organization. Our chief national correspondent Tom Yamas is here with the details. And Tom, these documents reveal a second longtime Trump Organization lawyer involved with the case.
That's exactly right, George. Good morning. The attorney for Stormy Daniels hasn't squared off with the president's attorneys just yet in a courtroom, but he's starting to lay out his case. And this morning, proof of a connection between a deal cut by Stormy Daniels and someone who directly works for the Trump Organization.
These documents given to ABC News by a lawyer for Stormy Daniels and marked highly confidential, revealing a corporate attorney for the Trump Organization secured a temporary restraining order against the adult film star in late February to stop her from talking about an alleged 2006 sexual encounter with President Trump. The restraining order refers to Daniels as Peggy Peterson, an alias previously noted in what Daniels has called a hush agreement with Trump. Jill Martin is the Trump Organization attorney who signed off on the restraining order. The address noted here is the location of the Trump National Golf Course near Los Angeles. But what isn't noted anywhere? Martin's connection to the Trump Organization. The new development comes after Daniels offered to pay the president $130,000, the same amount she says the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, paid her to stay silent about an alleged affair in 2006 she says she had with Mr. Trump. The White House passed on the deadline.
I've had conversations with the president about this, and as I outlined earlier, that this case had already been won in arbitration, and that there was no knowledge of any payments from the president, and he's denied all of these allegations.
Just days before the election, Daniels and the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, signed the agreement. Cohen paying Daniels $130,000 he says he facilitated with a personal home equity line.
Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Trump Organization attorney Jill Martin that we mentioned said she facilitated the filing in her individual capacity until a New York-based lawyer gained approval to practice in California. The company had no involvement in that matter, according to her. Now, we also want to mention a court date has been set for July 12th. L.A. court officials tell us this is just preliminary, but attorneys for both the president and Stormy Daniels are expected to meet the judge.
She says the Trump Organization has no involvement, but she's been a lawyer for the Trump Organization since, what, 2010?
That is correct.
Okay, Tom Yamas, thanks very much. As the president's lawyers try to keep him out of that story, there are more changes inside the White House. TV commentator Larry Kudlow will be the president's new economic advisor, replacing Gary Cohn. Let's bring in our chief White House correspondent, John Carl. And John, rumblings of even more change coming.
And those rumblings were fueled by the president himself after he fired Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, saying that he is getting close to having the cabinet and other things he wants. In other words, he's not there yet. And I've got to tell you, George, in the West Wing here, there is a real sense of uncertainty. You talk to senior officials, they are convinced that big changes are coming. They have no idea exactly when. But I have heard speculation in recent days of at least a half a dozen top officials leaving or potentially leaving or uncertain status, including the Veterans Affairs Secretary, including Ben Carson, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, the Attorney General, the National Security Advisor, the Education Secretary, and even the Chief of Staff, John Kelly. And nobody here knows when or even exactly what is coming, but there is a sense of uncertainty that there are big changes coming.
And likely several staffers still facing security clearance issues as well. Meantime, the president last night, John, at a fundraising speech, was talking about his negotiations with Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister. And in the midst of this, he said this. I want to put it up on the screen. This is according to the Washington Post. Nice guy, good-looking guy comes in, says, Donald, we have no trade deficit. I said, wrong, Justin, you do. I didn't even know. I had no idea. I just said, you're wrong. So this is kind of stunning. Put this in the file of, again, we haven't seen this before. The president conceding there, he just made this up.
Yeah, and by the way, if you look at the actual figures, George, from the United States government, from the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, in fact, Justin Trudeau was right. There is a surplus. The United States has a surplus with Canada, a big surplus on services, a slight deficit on goods, overall a surplus. So the president didn't know, and it turned out he was wrong.
And no comments yet from the Canadians on this?
No comment yet.
John Carl, thanks very much.
As John said, so many sources that we're talking to in the White House say that there's a major uncertainty right now. But President Trump is also celebrating the House passing a school safety bill after nearly 1 million students across the country, remember those images, took part in that national school walkout demanding action to prevent gun violence. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Parkland, Florida. Victor, this bill has the backing of the White House and the NRA, but many Democrats say it does not go far enough.
That's right, and good morning, Cecilia. While those students were walking out yesterday, lawmakers in D.C. were working on the Stop School Violence Act. It passed in the House, and there's a similar version in the Senate. This $500 million bill would fund training and other initiatives that would enhance school safety and implement some added security measures, such as metal detectors, stronger locks, and emergency notifications for schools that would notify law enforcement of emergencies. But this bill does not address gun control. Democrats say that more needs to be done. Still, it passed by an overwhelming majority. Cecilia?
Yeah, and Victor, the Parkland shooter Nicholas Cruz was back in court, so he officially changed his plea.
And while in court, he kept his head down the entire time. He did not make eye contact with the victims' families. As expected, he stood mute, so a judge entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. But as his defense team has said all along, he's ready to plead guilty to all counts, serve consecutive life sentences without parole, but they want the death penalty taken off the table. Cecilia?
Victor, thank you. Michael?
Thank you. Now to new fallout for former Silicon Valley superstar. Elizabeth Holmes founded a company that claimed to revolutionize blood testing, but now she's been charged with running a massive fraud. ABC's chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is here with more. And Rebecca, I remember her being on the cover of all these magazines about a big success story. What happened?
Such a fall from grace here, Michael. Good morning. Yes, this was Silicon Valley's golden girl. She attracted all sorts of Washington heavyweights to her Theranos board, including former Secretaries of State Henry Kissinger and George Shultz, even General James Mattis, who quit after he was nominated to be defense secretary, and now she's charged with a massive fraud.
She's the Stanford dropout, once hailed as the youngest self-made female billionaire, appearing on the cover of magazines like Fortune and Forbes, often in her signature black turtleneck, just like Steve Jobs.
The individual is the answer to the challenges of healthcare.
But this morning, a stunning fall from grace. Elizabeth Holmes, who spent years claiming the lab tests at her hot startup Theranos could detect hundreds of diseases with just a few pricks of blood, now charged by the SEC with a massive fraud. The 34-year-old and her top associate accused of lying about the technology, which regulators say never actually worked like it should, and allegedly defrauding investors out of $700 million.
How would you describe her?
She loves attention, and she really plays up to power.
Just last year, we visited the Theranos headquarters in Silicon Valley. The building appeared mostly empty.
Oh, hi, yes. We're here with ABC News.
Hey, this is private property. We don't allow people in the property here.
Back then, former employee Erica Chung recalls an environment of unprecedented secrecy, something she testified about in a separate lawsuit against the company.
I have not experienced anything like working at Theranos, and the level of secrecy and the amount of hiding that goes on in any other company.
As part of the settlement, Elizabeth Holmes will pay a $500,000 fine. She cannot serve as a director or officer of a publicly traded company for 10 years, and she had to return 18.9 million shares of the company's stock. But neither she nor the company has admitted or denied any wrongdoing. Theranos' independent director said in a statement, the company is pleased to be bringing this matter to a close and looks forward to advancing its technology, Michael.
And Rebecca, if you were a regular investor in this company, will you lose money?
Everybody who at this point put money in isn't necessarily getting anything out. The only way they get anything out is if this money can make money, or this company can make money, or if they sell the company and it ultimately makes money, but it's gone.
Is this the end of it for her, or could she face lawsuits as well?
She could likely face other lawsuits. They opened a criminal investigation into the company at some point, and that still is unclosed.
But she has settled some lawsuits already.
Yes, she has, many.
All right. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Cecilia.
Big story. Thanks, guys. We want to turn now to a major recall from Ford affecting more than 1 million cars. The warning this morning, the steering wheel could come off while you are driving. Our senior transportation correspondent David Curley has more on this. David, some drivers are telling really terrifying stories.
It is a scary thought, Cecilia. A lot of cars we're talking about, a lot of them are these Ford Fusions right here. Imagine you're in the car and you're driving down the street and your steering wheel is loose. And in one case, the steering wheel actually came off, detached from the steering column. The problem is a bolt right down here in the middle that holds this on, and it's getting loose in some of these Ford Fusions. So Ford said in a letter late last year that they've heard of 140 incidents of at least loose steering wheels, 3 accidents, 2 injuries. So they are recalling 2014 to 2018 Ford Fusions, and that's the majority of the cars. Also some Lincoln MKZs, but Cecilia, it's really these Fusions. It's more than 1 million of them, nearly 1.4 million cars total.
So they've got the recall. They must have a fix for it as well then.
They do. They're actually, if you do have that loose steering wheel, take it in. They've got a new bolt that's longer and some slightly different threads. They say that will tighten it down and hold the wheel where it's supposed to be.
Okay, David, thanks. Michael?
Yeah, keep the steering wheel on. It's
Yeah,
very important when you're
that, yeah.
driving. And you know what? March Madness time. Yes, getting underway. TJ was texting me last night. He was excited about my Texas Southern University Tigers. What's going on with the tournament,
Look,
TJ?
get a good look at this face, because you're not going to see it again after noon Eastern time today. This is the day March Madness kicks off. We're talking about 16 games today, 70 million of us filling out brackets for this thing today. $10 billion going to be wagered on this tournament. A lot of it illegally in the office, but you'll be fine. Fans got other things to do. But last night we had the play-in games, including a nice story from Texas Southern. This is your school, but this is their first ever tournament win. They started 0-13 on the season and won their conference tournament, so got in the worst start for any team to ever get into a tournament, but they did their thing last night. We got a viral moment from another kid, a play-in game last night, Arizona State. One of the fans, little guy, look at this. You think they just lost the Final Four? Look, a lot of people said Arizona State shouldn't even been in the tournament. So, hey, he was hoping they would make a run. But he was actually the son of someone who works for Arizona State. So
a little more commitment to the team.
I mean, hey, this is very emotional, all right? Arkansas plays tomorrow, so I'm very excited. But, folks, at work, they have something for you. Everybody's going to be watching at work. No productivity today, right? Yeah. There's a boss button. The NCAA gives you a boss button, so if your boss is walking by, you can just click that
And what do you
and
see
turn
on the
off.
screen? It just shuts off?
It throws that up. Office etiquette.
You're looking at office etiquette.
Yes. So they want to make sure we're all invested in this tournament today, but today is the day, folks. It's happening.
Yeah, wait.
I am very excited about this.
Get the popcorn ready. I'm coming over, man.
Okay, TJ. Let's go to Rob quickly.
And put off shoveling that snow. This is Snowshoe, West Virginia. Golf cart buried in 3 feet of snow in 3 days. Providence, Rhode Island. Johnson and Wales, a mascot there. Culinary Delights. He's buried in snow as well. And the cold all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico with freeze warnings below freezing in Atlanta right now. Time for your sunny cities. There's a few of them brought to you by Walmart.
Forecasting today, temperatures topping out in the 50s, will be much milder than yesterday, but still running below average. Now, later today, there could be some clouds, maybe even an afternoon sprinkle. The next weather makers, the big ones for us, bringing a few showers for St. Patrick's Day. And we could be looking at a mixture of rain with a little bit of snow next Tuesday. That could also be another big nor'easter for areas of New England. So some sunshine for your Sunday, tracking rain and a little snow chances next week.
Coming up, new trouble for United Airlines. A dog died on their planes, and now, how did this German Shepherd bound for Kansas end up in Japan?
That is a crazy story. Plus, that ABC News exclusive, the parents suing Fox News over what they call a bogus story about their murdered son. He's a former DNC staffer. What these parents are now saying, it is all coming up only on GMA.
The day after chemo might mean a trip